Hello, it's me again, Hunt XTRM, but now I'm under the username Control Freak. I changed my username under the advice of one of my friends. He said it needed to be a little more catchy. Anyways, this is my second video. Hopefully this one has better audio and you can understand and hear everything that's going on with it. Now I'm going to kind of start with a small program just to kind of help show how some things work and how to navigate around the system. We're going to write a program for an automatic can smasher. The way this can smasher is going to work is you place the can in the tray. It's going to have a photo eye that sees the can. It's going to have a safety curtain in front of the can. So when it sees the can and you remove your hands from the protection zone, it's going to start a countdown timer. Then it's going to initiate a cylinder to smash the can, and it's going to retract the cylinder, and then it's going to have a little solenoid valve that's going to blow the can off into the trash can or your recycle can, whatever you're using. Anyways, just simple little gig I decided to do just to kind of help show you how to program some stuff on this. Nothing big, and I'm sure there's other ways to do it than what I'm doing. If you did want to actually build this thing, I don't know why you would, but I guess for the fun, the cool idea of it, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, we're going to do it in a sequence, and this, what I would normally do is I would come in here to tag editor, and I will start listing some of the things maybe that I'm going to do. This is how I usually start a project. I know I'm going to have a sensor, alright, so let's go ahead and put us a can in place sensor. Okay, there we have that. Alright, that's going to be our first input. Alright, I know I'm going to have a safety curtain, so I'm going to say safety relay. You got to have a curtain go through a relay. Okay, the other things I know that I'm going to have is I'm going to have a couple of outputs. So I'm going to go up here to my outputs. I'm in tag editor, remember, right here, tag editor. Okay, one of my outputs is going to be my solenoid to my air that's going to actually smash the can. We're going to call this let's call it can smasher. How about that? Alright, my second output is going to be to my little solenoid that blows the can off. We're just going to call it eject air. How about that? Okay, now I'm going to start in a sequence. This is how I would program something. I'm going to think from start to finish about how I'm going to do it, how I want the system to operate. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is when I put the can in there, I want a little photo eye or whatever, some kind of a sensor to see that can. Okay, so I'm going to go here to Toolbox now and start playing with this. This is where I'm going to put in my components. So that's going to be a normally open switch, actually, or normally open contact. That's going to be our can sensor. So I'm going to put that there, double click on that. Now I can go to this list, my can sensor's there, hit close, okay. Now it knows that is my can sensor. Okay. Now I want that can sensor to do something. Okay, I want that can sensor to start a process of smashing a can. So we'll go over here and put us some, I like using sets and resets because we're going to use timers and all this, and I've already written this program, so I'm kind of stepping through it how I've written it. So the next thing I would do is go ahead and go to Toolbox if you want. This is going to be normally closed, going to be a safety. Your safeties are generally normally closed because they fail safe open pretty much. So here's my safety relay. Okay, alright, and I want all of this to be, I want it to see it when you first put the can there. I don't want it to sit there and watch the can the whole time. I want it to see the can, and then once you remove your hands out of the safety and it closes that 101 switch, I want it to start a count. I don't want it to, you know, start it whenever you're, you know, still have your hands in there, whatever. So I'm gonna make this a single output up. do that, you can go to toolbox. There's other ways I like doing this. Actually, I'm gonna have to fight this a little bit to do it this way because I'm used to doing it another way. So there's my single output up, and what this does is this makes it only look for the rising edge of these. So when both of these are closed, these are ands. This has to happen, and this has to happen. Whenever they're both combined, the rising edge of whichever one closes last or opens last, that's what this makes it see. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get me a reset. Put that there. This reset, and I'll show you how this works when I get it together. We'll call it M0 because I'm going to use a bit. And I'm going to go, since I'm adding bits in here as I'm programming, this is stuff I normally don't know to go ahead and put in tag editor when I'm doing something. So I'll kind of add these in the comments here as I go and tell myself what they are. Okay, this is going to be my start sequence. Okay, see, it puts it up there. Now if I go to tag editor, it's going to be in there. Just so you'll know that it does put it in there. Now I don't know why it's not showing the whole. There is a way, I've done it before, to make that spread out. Now I don't remember exactly how to do it. Actually, one of the guys in tech support showed me how to do it, and I'd be dang if I remember how to do it. Anyways, okay, moving right along. Now that we have our, oh, I messed up there. But there's not supposed to be a reset. I must have grabbed the wrong one. Okay, this will show you how to do something anyways. If you get the wrong thing, that's supposed to be a set, not a reset. Just double click it and you can go here and you can change the function of it. Okay, so now that's a set. Okay, I'm doing single keystrokes is how I brought that up. I should be showing you a toolbox, but anyways, that's how I did that. Okay. Now this, I'm going to use M0 again. Start the sequence. Okay, from M0, now I want it to wait a second or two or something before it actually starts the sequence. Once I move my hands, or whoever moves their hands, that way it don't scare the crap out of them as soon as they move their hands and just start trying to smash cans. So you want them to be clear of it. Give them a couple of seconds. So we're going to put a timer in here. All right, now timer, you go right here. I was fixing to do the keystrokes again. The timer, you go in here. TML is on, there you go. TML, 1 second timer. Double click on the timer. Name timer T0 will be your first one, and we'll call this the smasher delay. Go ahead and set. We're going to set it for 3 seconds so you can kind of see how this works whenever I actually put it on simulate for you. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and give me another memory bit out here. So I'm going to go toolbox and output. Call that M1. M1. All right. I'm gonna comment. This is gonna start my smasher to go down. Okay, but it's just a memory bit. This is not going to the output on the PLC yet because we're going to a timer first. It's gonna tell that cylinder how long to stay down. Okay, so right here, toolbox, another normally open. That will be M1 as well. I'm not doing it the way I'm used to doing it, so I'm kind of getting myself ahead of myself. M1, enter. Okay. Now I want this to be a single output up. I did that with keystrokes too. Not meaning to show you not how to do that, but you can come over here. We'll get into that later. Toolbox, and all the toolbox, if you see SOTU, you type that in, that's the keystrokes. TMH, that's the keystroke that pulls it up. CNT, that pulls up a counter. OUT pulls up an output if you wanted to do it with keystrokes like I've been doing it. Okay, so now this is when I'm going to set up my smasher dwell. Now this is going to be a time off counter. Off delay, timer. So this one, I'm going to go TMLO. That's a 1 second off delay timer. Okay, let's put that there. We're going to call this one T1. we'll name it Smasher Dwell. Set it for a couple 3 seconds also, just for, you're not going to dwell time something that long, but I mean just for the benefit of us being able to see the program. Okay, and this is going to directly run my cylinder. So let's go to toolbox, put another output. Okay, this is going to be Q0. Okay, that's our can smasher. Okay, now we have to have something to reset this up here, this whole sequence. So what we do here, we're going to go to toolbox. I'll show you how this is going to work real quick here in a second. Okay, we're going to make this Q0. I'm just doing it other ways to show you that you can do it all kinds of other ways. Okay, we're going to do a single output down. I did that with keystrokes, SOTD, brought that up. Okay, now I'm going to go RST, that's reset. Okay, and then I'm going to go to M0, enter. Okay, now basically we'll do this. This is the first half of it. All right, let's go ahead and we'll save it. And I'm just going to save it on desktop as Smasher. Okay. Anyways, now we go right here to the little green icon. That's your simulator. So now, if you'll watch what happens, we put a can in, it sees it. Okay. It's going to count down, turns on. There's the dwell time. Count down. It went off. Okay. Now, if you put a can in, can's there, bam, counts down, smashes it. All right, can smashed. I hope you got all that. Anyways, okay, that's that part of it. Now, let's start us another rung. This is going to be for our eject portion of it. All right, so let's go over here and grab us normally. I want to use my output to trigger all this. Alright, so my can smasher, once Q0 turns on, I only want to see when Q0 turns off. So I'm gonna, in other words, I don't want this to blow on that can to knock it off until it's through smashing it. So when Q0 turns off, the cylinder's retracting. That's when I want it to actually turn on this air solenoid. So I'm going to go toolbox, single output down. That means when it's on its falling edge of this going off and not this coming on, but when it's actually on the falling edge of it going, transitioning from on to off, then it's going to do this function. Okay, so now we're going to start the air. This is going to be off delay timer also. Okay, this is going to be basically our dwell for our blower, tell it how long to blow a jet of air. So we'll call this one T1. Smasher. Oh no, we don't want to use T1. We already had T1, so we need to use T2, and we'll call this we'll call it eject dwell. We'll make this one go for 2 seconds. Okay. Now our eject air, that's output Q1, remember? So now we're going to put us another output. Go ahead and make that Q1. Okay. And I think that should be it. Let's test it and see. Okay, can in place. Goes off. Bam. 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 There's our air coming on, blowing the can off. Okay. Did you follow all that? Sends the can in. It counts down, blows it. The cylinder down smashes it. The cylinder goes back up, blows the air off 2 seconds, knocks the can out of the way. Okay, one more thing you can do here to kind of help to segregate your components. This is something I like to do. If you right click anywhere in this, go under edit rung comment, and you can label your actual rungs to help you keep this in some sort of an order. You can do it all kinds of ways. I mean, I do it this way. Let's see, we're going to call this smasher. I like doing them in different colors, that way it helps me see them better. Okay, and to see it places it up here. I want something down here. Edit coil or edit rung comment. Same thing, I can go green. I wish there was a way, I'm sure there is a way to default this to one color, but I have not figured it out yet. Or I haven't taken the time to figure it out yet, rather, I guess. Alright, we're going to call this eject the can. Okay, see, it puts it all down there for you. Okay, we'll save this. Anyways, the step through this is how this happens now. I00, when you put a can there, it sees it. If you have nothing in the way here, which your hands will be in the way, so that opens that up. As soon as you get your hands out of the way, that closes. It sends a single output up to this, which sets bit M00. M00 then in turn delays for 3 seconds so it don't scare the crap out of you when it smashes the can before it turns on M01. M01 then comes on, and for one single output up, it turns on this off delay timer. Alright, when the off delay timer comes on, this turns on your can pretty much, and it holds it on for 3 seconds, then lets it turn off. That's the smasher cylinder. Alright, when the smasher cylinder turns off for one single output down on a transition, this bit resets this to off. Alright, when all of this is happening, when Q00 smashes the can, this lights up, turns green, and when it transitions from on back to off, not while it's on, but when it transitions from on back to off, a single output down, it then starts the dwell time, which turns on the air, holds it on for 2 seconds, and blows the can off. This would actually be probably like a millisecond, or I mean not a millisecond, probably 500 milliseconds or something more like that. The can smasher would probably wind up being more like, I don't know, probably maybe 500 milliseconds, maybe 750 milliseconds. And this delay, you might want to make that 2 seconds, 1 second. You might want to make it none, where it just scares the shit out of somebody, who knows. But anyways, I hope you got something out of that. I hope this recording turns out better than the last one, and I'll try to get another one out pretty quick. This one took me a little while. I got pretty busy at work and all kinds of other stuff in life. But anyhow, hope y'all learned something out of this, and if you know something that I missed, please teach me something. I like learning.